What if I told you the story you've been hearing about the Iraqi dinar is only half the truth? While most people talk about rumors, revaluation dates, and speculation, something far more powerful is already happening, quietly, deep within Iraq's own economy. The dinar isn't just a currency. It's the living heartbeat of a nation that's been tested, broken, and reborn. From the fall of Saddam Hussein to the chaos of war and sanctions, every moment in Iraq's history has left its mark on this currency. And now, a new chapter is being written, one that most of the world's media has missed entirely. This is Currency Revalue, and today we're going beyond the headlines to uncover the real story of Iraq's dinar, the one that's been unfolding right under everyone's nose. Decades ago, the Iraqi dinar was one of the strongest currencies in the Middle East. Back in the 1970s, it was even worth more than the US dollar. Iraq was thriving, oil production was high, infrastructure was growing, and the nation was seen as a rising economic power. But the dream didn't last long. The Iran-Iraq War of the 1980s drained Iraq's economy, forcing the government to print more money just to keep going. Then came the Gulf War in the early 1990s, followed by crushing UN sanctions that cut Iraq off from global trade and banking systems. The result was devastating. Inflation spiraled out of control. Ordinary Iraqis needed stacks of dinar just to buy bread or rice. People's life savings lost their meaning overnight. By the time Saddam's regime fell in 2003, Iraq's currency had hit rock bottom. The old notes, the ones with Saddam's face, were pulled from circulation, replaced by new dinar notes printed with modern designs and tighter security features. The Central Bank of Iraq hoped that this change would restore trust and signal a new beginning. But as every economist knows, rebuilding confidence takes far more than a new design. It takes reform, stability, and time, three things Iraq had to fight hard to achieve. Fast forward to today, and the story has taken a very different turn. While many investors still wait for an overnight RV moment, the truth is that the revaluation of Iraq's economy is already underway, slowly, quietly, but very deliberately. The Central Bank of Iraq has been working behind the scenes on real, lasting reforms, modernizing the banking system, introducing digital payment systems, and enforcing anti-corruption measures that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. They've tightened control over foreign exchange, strengthened the value of the dinar in domestic trade, and increased their foreign currency reserves to historic levels. Iraq's ties with regional and international partners, including major players in Europe and Asia, are also growing stronger. These aren't rumors. These are official steps toward building a currency that can stand on its own. The reality is that the revaluation process isn't just about the exchange rate. It's about rebuilding an entire financial ecosystem. Inflation is being controlled. Oil profits are being used to fund infrastructure, not just pay off debt. And for the first time in decades, Iraq's financial system is being reconnected to the rest of the world. Slowly but surely, the dinar is earning back its most important value, trust. But Iraq's story doesn't exist in a vacuum. Every move it makes affects, and is affected by the shifting global economy. As the world explores new financial systems beyond the US dollar, Iraq finds itself in a unique position. Sitting on massive oil reserves and acting as a bridge between East and West, Iraq's economic role is growing. Some nations are even exploring oil trade in non-dollar currencies, a development that could one day benefit Iraq directly. Behind closed doors, quiet talks continue between Iraq, the IMF, and neighboring countries about stabilizing exchange rates, boosting cross-border trade, and encouraging the use of local currencies. These developments don't make headlines, but they're the foundation for something much bigger. Could these moves lead to a full-scale revaluation someday? Possibly. But more importantly, they show that Iraq is no longer waiting for outside help. The country is taking charge of its own financial destiny. So where does that leave the Iraqi dinar today? The truth is, the dinar's comeback isn't about hype or sudden miracles. It's about progress that's real, measurable, and ongoing. Iraq is transforming from the inside out. It's cleaning up corruption, reforming banking, investing in digital systems, and rebuilding trust with global institutions. The world might not realize it yet, but this is what true revaluation looks like. When people hear the word revaluation, they often imagine a sudden rate change, a flip of the switch. But what's happening in Iraq is more profound than that. The real revaluation is one of confidence, trade, and governance. It's about rebuilding an economy that can sustain a strong currency for decades to come. The Iraqi dinar may not explode overnight, but its rise, slow, steady, and strategic, could prove to be far more powerful in the long run. Every reform, every policy, every trade deal adds a little more weight to the dinar's future. The question isn't if Iraq's revaluation will happen, it's how far along it already is. So the next time you hear speculation or wild predictions, remember this. The real story isn't happening on social media. It's happening in Iraq's banks, boardrooms, and ministries. The revaluation isn't a single event. It's a journey already in motion. And as Iraq continues to rise, the world will eventually have to catch up with the truth. This is Currency Revalue, bringing you not the rumors, but the reality, the deeper story behind the headlines, and the undeniable comeback of a nation determined to restore the true value of its dinar.